looking at the PulseChain ecosystem, Pulse just can't seem to break through that 30% discount off the SAC rate. The number 7's got it a little bit tongue-tied right now, but it did get up above it for a period of time last week, rejected off it yesterday. It looked like it was going to break through, and then today, come back down, come back up. It's just kind of sitting right there between 6.5 and 7. So we'll see if we can get past that resistance there. Pulse X, 80% down from SAC rate still, obviously, pretty much at 89% right now. We've got, or 79, that would be. Hex on PulseChain at 1.4 cents and EHEX at 0.8 of a penny. So total Hex is about 2.3 cents or so, 2.2 cents at the moment. So,
yep.
What do you make of this, Ewok? I mean, I don't know if there was any kind of necessarily stern rejection off of that number for Pulse. That's kind of the chart I've been looking at the most. I know people to test the strength of this ecosystem have looked at either that or Hex, like Hex on PulseChain as the leader of the pack here, as far as when we're going to go through resistance, then, whichever one does bust through is going to kind of pull everything else up with it. But what do you think looking at that? It just should we be starting to get concerned that we're getting rejected off there? Because this would be if we did get rejected off that 7 number, that'd be the second time. I was looking at the Pulse daily chart the other day. Do we go back lower again? Or I really thought we were going to bust through it last night, and I put a big enough buy order in because I thought it was going to happen, and it hasn't yet. Yeah. So, what do you make?
So, the more times you hit a resistance level, the weaker it gets. Basically you're buying through sell orders is what's happening. But this level is also a very strong level back here where it tried to break it as well and just continued to go further. So it's tested a couple times trying to break through it. And, I think it's just a matter of time. Once things really pop off, the cool thing about it too is the liquidity that's tied with the other coins. When Hex or Pulse X or any of those go on any kind of run, it's going to yank this with it, and we're going to bust right through there. So I'm not too concerned about it. It's still looking healthy. We had a nice run up and it was a nice pullback. Now we're going through again, hitting those same target levels where people probably, placed some orders, put some liquidity, did whatever they did. But, it's going to be a little difficult, but we'll get through it. I'm not too concerned. These levels are nothing compared to what it can really do once this stuff really starts to run.
True. And it kind of goes back to our conversation last week about how even though we've had this crazy run up with those green candles you see there for about a week straight, we are still, Pulse isn't even back to SAC rate. Pulse X is 80% down from SAC rate. Like, this is still, even though like the buy I made last night, I thought maybe we would smash through that number and we didn't. It's like, this is still, I'm okay to FOMO at these prices. Like, even with this recent run up, we are still way down. We haven't even recovered SAC rate for PulseChain. You can see the huge red candle after a certain news event happened on July 31st there. We're still not quite up there yet. So, yeah.
And this one looks the same way. These levels for everything is shaped pretty much the same. Give or take a little bit of difference, but that pullback, it tried to make another run and then kind of tapered off. But this level is another interesting level, even for Pulse X. I'm sure if we look at, incentive might be a little bit different because it's just the kind of sell everything. Yeah, it's not even close. But see if we can see a similar pattern here with the Hex chart as well.
Yeah.
Yep. We're a little above it. Now here was the July 31st episode. Pulled back, tried to recover, and once again, we're in this level. Now we did break through it at this point here, but it's hanging on. So hopefully this side has turned to support, where the other side is definitely resistance. So that's what I'm seeing. The big difference here is it's now bouncing off of that, and hopefully we can get another nice run up for both hexes and for the main coins, Pulse and Pulse X.
It would definitely make sense. Yeah, I mean, just after this crazy recent run up, yeah, it's definitely looking good at this
Yeah.
point. It seems like we're on the back end of a lot of this drama and a lot of these bottom prices, and it is crazy to think. I mean, we already have Pulse, all these coins pretty much up 2x off of the lows already. So, an X is already gone. So that is very nice indeed. So yeah, we're still DCAing heavily. I mean, basically my plan, I've said it a million times on here, but I like to just basically be 33% between Pulse X, and then both hexes, and kind of just DCA my way in there. So that's what I'm looking at right now.